right. I've hijacked the podcast here. Hey, everybody. Alvin and Chris here for Mulligans and Hackers. Chris is live from Vegas.
Yeah, it's we just got done our day of golf that we had booked for today. As you guys know, I'm down in Vegas for coaching a volleyball tournament this weekend, but had some free time, so we booked in 36 holes of golf at Revere golf course. But I mean, let's backtrack a little bit. So yesterday was my travel day. I went up to Calgary on Wednesday afternoon. Crashed to my dad's house, going to drop me off early in the morning. My flight was supposed to leave at 7:45 a.m. Well, we get halfway to the airport and I check my phone. Turns out the flight had gotten delayed until 10:45. And I'm like, oh, well, whatever. It just shortens my layover in Minneapolis. So as I'm sitting there in the airport, just waiting, it gets delayed till like 11:45. And I was like, okay. And then, it showed up around noon, started boarding. We got on, we boarded. The captain comes on the intercom. He's like, oh yeah, there's an issue with one of the mechanical issues, but it's just a cosmetic thing. It'll take 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, he comes back on. He's like, well, I said it's going to be an hour. Hour later, he comes back on. He's like, yeah, it's going to be another hour. So 2.5 hours later, as we sit there on the tarmac, thankfully I was flying Delta, so they have free entertainment in there, and you get complimentary headphones so you can watch whatever you want for videos and stuff. So it kind of made the time go by a little bit quicker. But anyways, 2.5 hours later, he comes on the intercom. He's like, oh, we're going to deplane and get you guys some lunch. So get your vouchers and go get some food. It's going to be at least another hour. And I was like, oh my God. So at this point, my connecting flight was supposed to leave Minneapolis at 4:40 there, or 3:45 their time. It was supposed to leave Minneapolis, and I was supposed to get into Vegas at 6:30 their time. Well, there's no chance I'm making that flight now. So Delta automatically rebooked me to the next one, which was leaving at 8:00 Minneapolis time. Well, by the time we got out of Calgary, which was finally just before 4:00, just after 4:00.
So is this in the morning or in the evening?
Is it in the afternoon? I was up at 3:30 in the morning and went to the airport. And then we didn't get out of there. We didn't leave until like just after 4 in the afternoon. So in the morning when I looked at it, I could have booked the direct flight from Calgary to Vegas at 4:00 on Delta. I had the option to change for free. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to sit here for that long and wait for it. Yeah, I fucking should have. Terrible. Anyway, so I'm already on. So I was checking. I'm like, well, how many more flights to Vegas? Because I don't want to miss out on golf. Like, we've already paid, it was like $340 American. So it's like $460 Canadian, or $440 Canadian, or whatever it is. And I'm like, and it's non-refundable. Like, if I don't get to Vegas tonight, this is a problem. So right before we left, I looked and it had no more flights after the one I was supposed to be on. And then it popped up that there was a flight at 9:55 p.m. from Minneapolis. And I'm like, I'm just going to put myself on that flight, because there's no way I'm going to make the 8:20 transfer, because we didn't get into Minneapolis until, it was like 10 after 8. Like, and then I would have had to run across the entire fucking airport in Terminal 1 to go from the F gates to the G gates to get on the fucking plane. So anyways, I got onto the 9:55 flight. That one actually ran smooth. I got into Vegas little before midnight. By the time I got my bags and all that stuff and got over to the hotel and checked in, it was about 12:45. Well, no, it was like 1-ish in the morning. And then I had a quick shower, and I'm like, I got to go to bed because I got to be up at 5:30. So I went to bed. My alarm was off at 5:30, and I reach over, and I never hit snooze, but I hit snooze, and I'm like, I need 5 minutes. I just need 5 minutes. So I hit snooze for 5 minutes, and I'm lying there, and I'm like, if I don't get up now, I ain't getting up. So I got up. I went out to the lobby. I met John and Jordan. John's my assistant coach and Jordan's his son, and they're the two guys I was golfing with today. They had the rental clubs and all that other stuff John had in his possession, so it was good. So we got a cab. We drove out to Revere Golf Course, which is about a 25-minute drive from our hotel, the Excalibur, where we're staying. So they have 36 holes out there. They got two sets. They got Lexington and Concord. So we played what they consider to be their main course and their harder course in the morning. So we played off the gold tees, which is the second furthest back tee box in the morning on the Lexington. So it was 6,590 yards. The blacks, to give you an idea, are 71-23. So we played off the golds. I started and we had full tailor-made bag of rental clubs, right? Like I had a TaylorMade Stealth 2 driver, TaylorMade Stealth 2 3-wood, TaylorMade Stealth 2 Rescue 3 hybrid. I had a TaylorMade. I ended up with a blade putter too. Didn't get a freaking mallet, so that was an adventure today. So not something I'm used to, but I mean I may do. And then we ended up with like an approach wedge, a pitching wedge, and a 54 degree. And what
was the iron? Was the iron set Stealth as well?
Yeah, Stealth 2. Yeah, Stealth 2s. So I did a little video of what's in the bag. I mean, we'll pop that out there at some point here. Overall, and I mean, by the time we got there, our cab driver was a little chatty and he missed his first exit and then he missed the second exit. I'm like, dude, you got to take this exit. And he's like, oh, I have to go this way. I've been there before, but like not for a while. So it took us longer than it should have to get there. Anyways, we checked in. It's one of those golf courses where, the clubhouse is over here, and then you got to drive all the way around and under the road to the other side to get to your driving range. So we get over there, we get like 10 minutes on the driving range. And I'm like, well, I don't know what any of these distances are, so this will be interesting. I'm not really sure how this is going to go, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, and then I mean, I go to grab my putter out of the bag because they get me, like, I talked to John and I was like, I want the mallet if there's a mallet. He's like, okay. I go to grab the mallet out of the bag. Well, it's left-handed. They sent him a left-handed mallet and the other two are right-handed. So I'm like, well, that's not going to work for me. I guess you're taking the mallet. So I ended up with the TaylorMade, the Rossi blade with the milled face and the insert. And I mean, it wasn't bad, but I mean, again, it's not, for someone like me who likes to putt and is a good putter, it wasn't my putter. And I mean, it took me a little while to get going. Anyways, hole one was a par four, 371 yards, from the golds. I ended up starting with a double bogey, 2 putts, but a double bogey. And then hole 2 was a 561 yard par 5. I ended up with a bogey, with a 1-putt bogey. It took me 5 to get on, and I 1-putted that for a 1-putt bogey. So I mean, it wasn't terrible. And then hole 3 was 416 yard par 4. So I ended up with a double there. I got a double on the next one on a par 3 after I came up short and then chipped on and then 3-putted, which was terrible. Probably the highlight. So I ended up shooting a 48 on the front 9, and which wasn't awful. I had 3 putts. I had a few 1-putts, and I only had one penalty stroke on that 9. So it wasn't bad. And this is supposed to be their harder 9. Honestly, I think that 9 played better for me overall as the day went on. So then on the back, I started bogey, and then I on hole number 11, 580 yard par 5.
Oof.
Elevated tee box. I got up there with the TaylorMade Stealth 2 driver, and I mean, sometimes I don't hit my driver because me and it just don't get along. Today I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna swing. I don't care. I bombed out a 310-yard drive off the tee box, just absolutely mashed one straight out there. And it was right into the narrow part of the fairway, right on the fairway. These guys had nice Bermuda grass fairways, absolutely beautiful to play off of. So I bombed one out there, and then I end up just on, or I was just, what was I? No, I duffed my next shot, and then I ended up on the fringe. So then I putted it like to within like, or 1, 2, 3. No, I took one. Oh, I got a birdie. I ended up on 3. I duffed my next shot, and then I put it on, and I made like a 6-foot putt for a birdie. That was my only birdie of the day, but it was awesome. And so then I promptly followed that up with 2 3-putts, of course, because that's how it works, and some bigger numbers. But anyways, we finished out that side of Lexington. I shot a 48 on the front and a 45 on the back for a 93, which, I mean, for having rental clubs running on very little sleep, and rental clubs that, like, the rental clubs, the biggest difference for me was probably that the fact that the grips were regular grips instead of mid-size. So that was a huge difference for me. And the shafts weren't quite as stiff as I'm used to. So again, there's some give and take there. So, and I didn't know what, like, some of the distances with my clubs weren't, when you have your own bag, I know exactly what every single one of my clubs is supposed to give me. So it makes it a little bit more fun. But I mean, overall, a 93 I thought was pretty good. Like, I'll take that any day of the week on a brand new course that I've never seen. So I mean, like, here's the scorecard if you guys can see this. It's pretty, and I mean, we'll get a better picture and put it up there. But that was fun. So then we had lunch. We had about an hour and a half in between. So we sat down. We had lunch. I had some chicken fingers and some French fries, or whatever you want to call them, potato chips, or whatever the heck they call them. And then I went out to the range and I worked on a couple things, and then I took the putter over to the green and was trying to work on things. As the day went along, it was pretty wet in the morning, and it was a little cooler. So the green started really slow, and then as they started to dry out, they got some speed to them. I would say for us, they were something similar. They were probably right between Medicine Hat and Desert Bloom. Not quite as fast as Desert Bloom, but faster than Medicine Hat. So some were kind of right in the middle, which was kind of fun. So then we got out there and we played the second 18, which is called Concord. This one, they said this one was easier, but I honestly, this one I felt was a tougher course because it was narrower. It was through a lot more housing areas. Like, there's it kind of reminded me of Desert Bloom in that area. A lot of up and downs. And, like, I'm not going to lie. I may have hit a couple balls over some houses. I didn't hear any smashes. So we'll hope that that's good. So anyways, I started off with a par on the first hole, which was a 381 yard, 300. We played from the silvers because the guy told us we should probably play from the silvers on this side. So the silvers on this side were 6,094 yards, and first hole is a 366 yard par 4. I hit a fairway, I hit a green, I hit 2 putts, and I walked out with a par. So it was a great start. Then I went double, 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 par, par, bogey, bogey, bogey to finish 9 over on the front 9. So
That's all
a
right.
solid front 9.
Yeah.
I mean, I had 5 fairways, 3 greens. I had 17 putts and 2 penalty strokes on that side. And then for the last, from 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, we played in, like, dusk conditions. Like, it was basically dark by the time we finished, because it was kind of hit or miss to go. Like, they do last call at like 3:30 out there. It's crazy because the sun goes down at like 5, a little after 5. So then on the back, I started double, bogey, bogey, triple, bogey, par, par. And then on 17, it's a par 4. I took an 8. I ended up with an 8. It was a natural 8, but I ended up with an 8. It was like I couldn't even see like what was going on out there. And then 18 is like a straight downhill par five. Like if you hit it, I crushed my drive and I got it to the hill. And actually on number 11, I had another 300-yard drive, 314 yards. I three putted for a bogey, but I had a 314-yard drive. So,
So
it was
you like
cool.
the stealth too?
I honestly like I didn't mind the sound of it and how it played, but I mean I don't think it's any different than my Mizuno driver or my Callaway driver. I don't know. I mean it's not a lot of people hyped it up. I don't know that I like it as much as the clubs the drivers I already have. I don't think it makes a huge difference on my distances on it honestly. So as I shot a 45 on the front for 9 over. And then on the back, I finished with a 49. Part of that is due to tired. Part of that is due to the playing in the dust conditions. But all in all, I mean, I shot a 94. So I would say I was pretty consistent throughout the day. I shot a 93 on the hard course and a 94 on the quote unquote easy course. The biggest problem on the backside was the 4 penalty strokes I ended up taking, 2 on each hole too. So I mean that gave me that gave me a triple bogey and a quadruple. So there's 7 strokes right there, right? So, but honestly, absolutely worth the money. Was an absolute blast. I got a freaking sunburn today. It's crazy. Like I heard it was -30 there. My wife was saying with the wind chill this morning or something.
Yeah, it was
And
chilly. It wasn't too bad.
yeah, here I am out here in it. We started with a jacket in the morning, and then by the afternoon it was like shorts weather, man. They're running around out here like the cart girls are wearing toques and whatnot, and we're just like we're wandering around in t-shirts and hats, and they're kind of looking at us like we're crazy. But yeah, overall, really, really good course. The service there was extremely good. The clubhouse was really, really good. The restaurant was awesome. The carts were really good. Everybody that we dealt with from the check-in with our clubs right till we dropped off our carts and everything. Super friendly people. They were awesome to deal with, and I would strongly recommend anybody if you're in Vegas go check that course out. I'll definitely go back if I'm in the area. Like it was super duper fun. And here's the Concord scorecard for anybody, but it was so much fun. So then we waited for a lift because you can't get a taxi out there because it was in Henderson, which is a subdivision of Vegas, right? We're staying on the Strip, so then that's in the subdivision. So we had to get a Lyft driver to come pick us up and haul our butts in, and then got on the tram at Mandalay Bay and came over to Excalibur, and yeah, it was it's been a wild 36 hours, but you know what? An absolute awesome experience. I think I having those clubs was cool because it actually made you focus on different things. Like you take for granted what you can do with your clubs because you played with them for so long, and we put a lot of work into figuring out our numbers,
And
right?
your
Whereas with
your Mizunos are tailored to you as well. You had them fitted for you, so they work with your swing. So going from a fitted set of
oh yeah,
clubs to
yeah.
a total, even stealth twos, to a set of clubs that are just rando put together is going to throw your game off a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I would think if I had my clubs, I could probably have shot in the mid 80s on this course. There was I did miss some shots just because I didn't know the distance. Like I didn't know what my approach wedge would give me. I didn't know what my 54 would give me with a full swing. Right. One part of my game that usually lacks, though, you would have been proud. So one part of my game that usually lacks, I found a lot of sand traps today. I was 7 out of 8 on getting out
Nice.
one stroke, and only on one hole did I end up having to take 2 strokes to get out of the sand trap. So for me, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Um,
definitely take that wedge home with you.
right? It was kind of shocking. I was like, okay, this usually doesn't happen. That's one part of my game that generally struggles. So it was pretty sweet. But yeah, so that's been my Vegas experience so far. I mean, I'm gonna try and get a good night's rest tonight. Find some food
Big weekend
here in a
coming
little
up,
bit.
right?
Yeah, and then we get to work. We get to play starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon Vegas time. Um, So we're gonna go for a team breakfast in the morning, and we're gonna walk down to the old Vegas sign and get ourselves prepped and ready to go, and then see what the weekend brings for us. For my first time being in Vegas, I mean, actually, this is my first time being in the States. So for the first time being in the States, like even stopping over in Minneapolis and then coming into Vegas with the in the dark and leaving Minneapolis in the dark, it's insane to me how big these cities are. Like it's mind blowing, but it's cool, super cool.
Well, pal, I appreciate you jumping on, giving us a little rundown of your Vegas day on the golf course. So we'll get some video and stuff together and put it on, throw it over this thing, and yeah, well, good luck this weekend, pal. Hope your team does well, and I'll hope to hear all about that when you get back. And me and Junior are going to MFlex on Monday.
Oh, nice, nice.
So
let me know how it goes.
We booked some time in there. Go get my second round in at MFlex.
Nice.
So
that'll be.
Now you're not the only one golfing this weekend.
Well, that's good. Get more swings in. I definitely. I mean, I'm thankful that we did go to MFlex before, because that definitely helped help some of my swing out. It was good. It was nice to be swinging the clubs again.
Well, yeah, especially on a real course. Yeah, I am a little jelly. Not gonna lie, a little jelly because we still got another few months to go here before we get that start playing on the real courses. But and did you see? You see the schedule came out for the Alberta Golf Tour?
No, I haven't had a chance to look at all yet.
See, you do know July 1st is at the Bloom.
July or June?
June or July 1st?
I thought it was June 1st. At the Bloom, which is pretty sick because I mean,
either way, it's at the Bloom. So
yeah, that means that we don't have to go anywhere to attend
June 1st,
which is awesome.
June 1st is at the Bloom, so we're gonna lock ourselves into that one for sure.
100%.
And then we haven't really talked about it yet, but we're tentatively will pencil in Mickelson National in Calgary.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a course that if you get, it's semi-private. So I mean, if you get a chance to get on there, you want to try and take
go. Yeah, I think that's when I was actually messaging Jacob about it as well, getting the feelers out for Jake too. To he was pretty stoked that the first event was at the Bloom, so maybe we can.
Yeah, he'll be happy to come down and play that.
He'll come down and play that one with us, and
oh yeah.
And we'll do Mickelson. Then we'll have to go over the rest of the schedule and see if we can, maybe fit a third date in there somewhere.
I think so. I think it'll be so much fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm actually
just so much fun
about it. Pretty stoked about it.
That's all.
I'm looking at the schedule and I'm looking at the how far away these dates are from Medicine Hat. Just to see what the travel time would be.
Well, I think probably a lot of them are in southern Alberta or central Alberta, right? Yeah. Like between Edmonton and Calgary, probably. I think that's what she said, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe we'll do a
major.
Well, no, I don't know if we'll do the major, but because that's in Cranbrook.
Ooh.
So the first two are in.
Is there any 2-day events though?
Yeah, there's 3 2-day events. So there's one in Copper Point. I don't know where that is. Another 2-day one in Jasper.
Oh, that's too far.
And the third one is in Ponoka.
Well, Ponoka's not too bad.
So I don't know where that Copper Point is though.
I think Copper Point's around Calgary.
Is it?
I think so. I've heard the name before. I do believe it's around Calgary. We'll have to double check, but I think that's where it is. So if it is, that would be sweet to get into if we could.
Yeah, that one too. And then some of the single day events, Olds, Strathmore. There's one in Strathmore.
Oh yeah, that's not far away either.
June the 15th.
Is that at the Strathmore Golf and Country Club?
It just says Strathmore, so I'm guessing yes.
Oh, nice. I just played that one last year with Jake. That was a fun club to play. I really like that course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the dates are there, and we're gonna have to pencil a few in. I know for sure it's going to be the Bloom, obviously, because it's in our home city here. Mickelson National, because we want to play that course, and I
feel like she almost threw us a cookie with with deserts. No,
I
it's all.
I didn't reach out to Leah and say anything, but um, yeah, it's almost like she went out of her way to get an event in down this way for the crew, for the new crew coming on board.
That's awesome.
I was talking to Clark about it as well. He might jump into that one too, because you don't have to be a member of the Alberta Golf Tour to play in these events. It costs more to get in if you're not a member.
Right, right.
Yeah, so he might jump into that one too.
That would be awesome. Wouldn't it be cool if we got 4 guys in there?
4 of our crew into that event. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty sweet, actually. That'd be pretty awesome.
So we have something to chat about when you get back. We'll go over the schedule and see what we can do with that.
Yeah, man.
Got some more pods that we're recording. Hopefully you can get in as a guest host on something here somewhere down the road, but you're a traveling man, so.
Yeah, I'm a busy guy, but I'll do what I can. I mean, it's I like to stay busy, and I mean, sometimes it has its perks like this when we go to Vegas and get to play a little bit of golf. So
yeah, outdoors, yeah, totally jelly. All right, pal. Well, did you see Tiger pulled out today?
I did, from his own tournament.
Yeah, that sucks.
Did you see? I got old Mackenzie Hughes in the pool, and he's tied for 2nd. And I got old Willie Zalatoris, and he's tied for 6th.
Oh, I did not pick any of them, and I'm way down in the standings, pal.
Well, I'm only like 2 spots ahead of you, I think.
Because I was in like 13th.
Yeah, I'm in like 11th or something. Wyndham Clark got cut today, but I have
I lost Justin Thomas.
In. Yeah,
Justin Thomas missed.
I think I lost him too. I took Thomas and Clark, but so I think I'm down to 4 golfers, but I put Rory back in, and all 4 of them seem to have decent stats. So
this is the Chasing Daylights podcast pool that they put together. So we got involved in that one, and yeah. So it's actually got me back into watching golf a little bit because I was
Chasing Daylights versus everybody else, right?
Yeah, so I kind of started watching a little bit again after being totally out of the picture for a whole season last year. The only thing I watched last year was the Masters, which I will watch this year. But yeah, it's got me back into watching it a little bit and being interested a little bit, following some golfers again.
That's fun. It's fun. Gets it interesting, right? Yeah. It's kind of a crapshoot. Like I was actually our cap. Well, yeah, and our cabbie this morning actually was saying that he had bet on Taylor last week to win, and he cashed in on a 250 to 1 odds.
Oh, nice.
For him. Yeah, I think it was like I want to say it was like $100 bet or something like that.
Huh. So that's a nice payday.
Yeah, he made a nice little payday there. That was good.
All right, pal. Well, go get some sleep.
Okay, sounds good, buddy. Thanks for
on. Yeah. Thanks for coming on and tell us about your golf day and your trip.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy shit.
All right, well, we'll chat later.
All right, pal. We'll get some sleep and good luck this week, and all the best to you and your team.
Okay, thank you.
All right, pal.